Hey everyone, welcome back to Arps' Apiaries. Today we're going to take you through our hive and show you how we put in our winter Varroa treatment. To put in your winter Varroa treatment, you're going to need much the same tools as doing a hive inspection: your hive tool, a smoker, a frame rack if you've got one. But the main difference here is we're going to need Varroa strips. Now what we're using here is Varroa, and Varroa is a chemical formula that kills the Varroa mite. I'm going to do a whole separate video on what the Varroa mite is and why we want to control it. But for now, come into the hive with me and we'll put these strips in. Alright, let's crank into it. Now this hive has a sugar syrup feeder on top of it, which we can feed the bees sugar syrup through if we need to help them bolster their honey stores. As I said, all we're worried about today is where the brood is, so that we can put Varroa treatment in. Let's have a quick look in the middle here. Not seeing any brood in there. Plenty of honey in this top box, so what we'll do is we'll get in straight into the bottom box where the brood should be. Oh, the girls are glued this one though. Alrighty, a bit more action down here. Going to take one of these end frames out to give us some space. Oh, no, it won't, there's brood on it. So as we see there, the queen's laying a pretty good brood pattern here, and we've got plenty of brood hatching at the same time. Let's have a quick look for her here. Now the reason I don't want to leave brood out of the hive is it will get cold pretty quickly. It's not windy today, hardly windy today, and it is a relatively warm day, but I don't want the brood to get too cold. What we can see in there, hopefully, is some larvae starting in there. So uncapped larvae, all the little white sort of slug looking things in there. That's a pretty good sign that this is a queen that's laid recently. I'll pop that one back in. The next one looks like it might have some brood on it too. Might go right to the outside frame, which in theory should be mainly honey. So it hasn't got much honey on it, but you can see they're starting to cap honey at the top there, so they'll be starting to prepare this hive for winter themselves. Put that one off to the side. That one's honey. These guys a bit of a puff of smoke just to chill them out a wee bit. Just going to leave my smoker going out the front. So we know that there's brood on this one. We'll have a look at its mate next door. So there's brood on that one as well. This queen was marked green last year, so we might just see if we can find her in here as well while we're at it. So we know we've got 2 frames of brood. There's another good frame of brood. I'm not looking too intently for the queen, mainly because I know that if I see brood in there and eggs in there, then I know she's in the hive. So 1, 2, 3 frames of brood there. In here, sorry ladies. What have they done to our plastic frame? Starting to lay on this frame. can see she's starting to lay out the top there. Now I did say this in the smoker video, but what the smoke actually does is the smoke itself doesn't affect the bees unless it's too hot. What it does is it makes them think that there's a fire somewhere, and when they're in the wild, if there's a fire around, they need to store all their honey so that they can move to another hive. So what they do is they eat a lot of honey, which essentially gets them a bit drunk, and they should calm down a little bit. What you're seeing flying around me is probably it's bees off the hive, but it's also field bees returning, and they're wondering what the hell's this guy doing to our hive. He looks like he's a big bloody white polar bear or something. Oh, there she is, right in the middle of that frame. You see her there with the green dot, just wandering around doing her thing. Well, we found her. As you can see in the middle there with the faint green dot, that's what our queen looks like. You can see she's a lot longer than the other bees. She's also quite a bit darker in the abdomen. But in my opinion, I don't think she's the biggest bee in the hive, which a lot of people say because the drones are a lot bigger. But she's definitely the longest. So you can see she's in there. Almost looks like she might be getting ready to lay an egg for us. Possibly not. But she's wandering around happy as Larry. What you also see usually is a circle of bees around her protecting her like that. So we've gone through the hive now and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames of brood, which means we've got a full brood box. So what we're going to do is we're going to treat that with 4 strips of Varroa treatment, which will allow the Varroa to get treated effectively in this hive. We know that there's no brood in our top box, so we only need to treat the bottom one. I'm going to get ready to close this up before I treat it. So that we can put our frame back in the rightful place, which was about, oh, it was one more in, wasn't it? The outside frame. Just going to give the girls a bit of a puff of smoke just to try and chill them out a wee bit. So it goes away. Alrighty. So a really cool thing about these strips is they've got these little hooks on them which will help you hold on top of the frame. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just put one in here, sorry ladies, out of the way. Hooks on nicely. One down the other end. Sorry, just squeeze past you all. Making sure that they are hooked on. Down to this end, and our last one, and here. Alrighty, we'll put our top box back on so the girls can get their honey back and chill out a wee bit. Put our feeder on so that we can maybe give them a bit of feed later on today or tomorrow, just to help bolster their honey stores. Just going to whack these bees off here so they don't get trapped. Oh, there's a few in there. That's your jump, ladies. And put our hive lid back on. Now, I might just encourage them to find their honey again. This is a little theory of mine. If I give them a bit of smoke, they'll try and sniff out their honey and hopefully stay away from me. Well, that's it for our Varroa treatment video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learnt a little thing. What we'll do is in a couple of weeks we'll come in and we'll move that treatment around a wee bit just so we're covering all the brood. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video if you enjoyed this one, and most importantly, share it around your friends and family. Have a good day, everyone. Go on, Archie, show them where that subscribe button is.